sweet that when he loves dressing up, like dressed up for Marty tonight.
Oh, I have.
But you used to help him, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
You used to tell us what you used to go and get stuff for him. And
Exactly. I've got a little grandson now who's 4.
Yeah.
And he loves dressing up.
yeah, like Uncle Georgie.
He'll dress up in
Chip
anything.
up the old block.
But like you've always been, I know like Shane Ward was talking about his mum Philomena, but like I've read stuff you said and you've been incredibly supportive of George. Like even like when you went on drugs.
Yeah.
Tell that story about the time you went to his posh apartment in North London and realised he was out of his head and you cleared the flat,
Well,
didn't
that
you?
was St John's Wood, actually. Well,
Yeah.
it was a house, his little house, which was beautiful when he got it. And I hadn't heard from him for months.
Go on.
He'd take me over to Switzerland, because I'd just had a big operation. He'd take me over to Switzerland. I'd come back and still no word from him. I thought, OK, I'm going to leave it a couple of weeks, and if he doesn't, because he was phoning all the time.
Yeah.
And then this day I just decided to leave work, get in a train and go up to St John's Wood. I could hear everybody in there, but he had
Like Gates.
no, he had this thing in front of the window.
What was that?
And I
bars.
thought,
Bars, right?
no,
Turret.
the other thing where people dress behind.
Oh, you
The
mean
screen.
the screen? Yeah.
Right. And I kept looking, thinking, I can see somebody sitting in
Yeah.
there. Anyway, he wouldn't answer the door, so I thought, OK then. And his friend Philip was shouting from across the road.
Yeah.
He's in there, dying. I went, I know he's in there. Shh, be quiet, because it was quite a posh area.
Okay, right.
And,
Poor Dinah.
Anyway, I banged on the door. I said, I'm not going till you open the door. I'll stay here all night if I
Good
have
for you.
to.
Yeah.
And I would have done. I'd just stay there. Anyway, he did let me in eventually. Oh,
But then you've got him on the straight and narrow, didn't you? Then you
eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Are you? This is a really boring question, but are you off drugs now?
I am currently off drugs, yeah.
Like tonight?
Currently,
He's off,
permanently,
yes,
yeah.
he is.
Yeah. Was it difficult?
You can tell.
Yeah, no, I can actually, I was talking to earlier, and you are in amazingly good form, and you look remarkably well for a guy who did have a serious drugs problem.
You can slip into that. It's one of the
Yeah.
things you have to always be aware of, you know. It's like any addiction, you know, every day is a blessing.
Yeah.
Every day you're not doing it is a blessing. Every day.
And we have this picture of you doing your community service in
Yeah.
New York last year, which I thought was really sweet. You're sweeping the streets,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you liked doing that, didn't you?
Well, I resented the idea that I should be so ashamed that I did a bit of cleaning. I mean, every
Hey,
woman that
your
wets her
mother.
baby's arse, you know,
that was
was
a
something
kid.
she should feel ashamed. To me,
There you are there, actually.
yeah, exactly. The only thing I didn't like was the orange jerkin.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It
to
wasn't
me,
his colour.
you know, I guess if I was like a proper pop star, like
Yeah.
Elton John or Madonna, I would be horrified by doing a bit of sweeping. But I don't live in a vacuum, you know. I mean, I grew up in a family of 6 kids. We always worked, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get my hands dirty. And also, I think in New York, like, say Naomi Campbell, she can get away with what she did. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she put on the gown.
Yeah.
You could do that if you were a diva, but I couldn't get away with that because people would have resented it. I broke the law to be seen to, you know, paying for my crime, whatever. So I went over there. I said, what should I do? And she said, just go and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Get the
Just
broom
do
and
it,
start
do it.
singing.
But
Hard,
it stood you,
yeah,
actually.
fast.
People really liked the
Yeah,
fact that you
people were
didn't
nice.
moan, you got up and you did it.
I mean, it was difficult doing it with cameras in your face. And, you know, after a while, like, you think, how many pictures do you need of me picking up bok choy or a sweaty piece of newspaper? That got on my nerves, the press, because I just thought, it's not that interesting, is it?
But I suppose the other thing is reading stuff, like I know because you were very close to John Moss and stuff, is that an awful lot of your friends actually didn't survive drugs. Sure, they
No,
didn't.
a lot
So
of people,
does
yeah.
that, in a sense, help you to stay off sometimes, or not?
Yeah, I think that, you know, I mean, people that you love, obviously, I mean, you know, AIDS, drugs, all sorts of things, you know, old age, you know. You know, but, you know,
Hardly that.
You know, but, you know, you just,
Yeah.
but anything that reminds you how lucky you are is a good thing.
Are you in love at the moment?
No. But I'm open to persuasion. No, I'm not. I'm having a very loveless period at the moment. I'm not saying I don't have any nookie noodoo.
Yeah. But would
We
you?
don't want to hear that.
She might.
No, not in front of your mother.
No. My mother's very open-minded, and thank God. I have a very open-minded mother.
But would you, is it like, your life is incredibly busy, you're really successful DJing, like
Yes.
around the place, you're musical Taboo, right?
Yes.
That's gonna,
I have a clothes shop in London as well.
do you?
Yeah, a little clothes shop. A small, you know, bijou boutique, you know.
So is life good, or is it, when you're such a big star, for instance, in the 80s, is it very difficult to move on from that?
No, it's difficult for other people to move on.
Yeah.
It's like everybody... I feel like I'm the only person who knows the 80s are over. I feel like I'm the only one. It's like I've been busying myself for years. I mean, I've probably done more work since leaving the band.
That's true,
Yeah.
that's true. But
But, you
people
know,
keep saying
but
to
people-
me, well, what's he doing now? Because we don't hear him. I went, but he is working.
Yeah, but no, because it's probably just because you were so big
No,
then and then.
I have to say,
yeah.
there is an embargo in the UK on me on the radio. They don't play me on the radio. I've become a bit of a bitch, you know. People sort of see me as this person that just bitches about everybody.
And
So
do
I'm
you?
gonna, well, I do, and you know, like
Now and
with
again,
me,
yeah, he
with
does,
me,
now and again.
I'd say what I think, you know, and sometimes it gets misconstrued because sometimes I just say things for the sake of it, just to be funny, you know. Like at school, I was always the one, you know, like making rude comments and being the joker because it's a way of getting attention. But half the time, I don't really mean what I say.
And one of the
I'd be
toughest
bitchy.
periods in your life, wasn't it? Because actually, the big story in Ireland at the moment is obviously the conviction tonight of the murder of Joe O'Reilly for his Rachel, murder of Rachel. And you have said, haven't you, Diane, the worst day of your life was when your son Gerald was convicted for killing his own wife. Do you think that was perhaps the way he learned violence from his dad, or do you think that was just...
Well, unfortunately, see, while George was on drugs,
Yeah.
unknown to me, Gerald was on drugs. But Gerald was on cocaine and other things that he was taking that affected his mind, and he went into a very deep depression. He actually had a mental breakdown. Now, to deal with Georgie and to deal with that, and to have a husband who was ranting and raving was horrendous. Everywhere I took Gerald, all they wanted to talk about was his brother.
I see what you...
Now, and you might, that's amazing that doctors or somebody in a profession, you know, I took him to one person and he came back and I, how did you get on? He said, all she wanted to talk about was George. So you don't go there again, right? So I was trying to walk, keep my eye on George and also keep my eye on Gerald. But he got in and done this thing called Turning Point, which he done twice. Met this girl.
Like a self-help course, yeah.
Met this girl, and within 56 days, it was a roller coaster. He was out of my home and married, and then unfortunately he had a breakdown, and that's when it happened.
You're a very strong woman, though. Is it? I mean, I read about you grew up in this Dublin tenement, right? But it was a happy time. But did that, you know, early beginning make you a very strong woman? Because you are a very strong woman, because you've coped with a lot.
Well, I think too, my dad, although my dad was a gambler and he liked to drink, he was a happy drunk. He wasn't a nasty drunk.
Yeah.
And he was always, no, there are happy drunks and there
Yeah.
are people who, you know, they're very violent when they're drunk. But my father also helped us with our homework. He'd make things for us, like cases to bring to school.
Yeah.
You'd have a lovely wooden case and someone had
And he was quite
you know.
poetic, our granddad, wasn't he? Where he used to
Yes.
do great poems.
Yeah.
It was a real, you know...
And he, like Georgie, if he heard a song, then he'd make funny words up about that song. Or he'd do poetry, you know. But I mean, he...
What's that? Once was Molly Malone, she wanted the streets broad and narrow. She loved every man that she met and brought all home in her barrow.
Yeah. That was one
That's
of
one of my granddad's
dad's
ditties. I remember it
poems,
to this day.
But like, he was very intelligent, but never used that intelligence. It was like Gerald. He was intelligent, but he didn't use it.
Well, look, I'm just...
Frustration.
We've got loads of text messages in saying, A, delighted to see you, looking so good,
Thank you.
and secondly, that you're a wonderful woman and you're an extraordinary survivor, and I just want to thank you both very much for being my guest
My
tonight.
mum's the best
Thank
mum
you.
in the world.
Yeah, no, Shane Ward says that. No, you are. Of course
She
she
really
is.
is, though.
Yeah, you're lucky to have her, actually.
Oh, trust me, I know that.
Yeah.
More than anyone.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Now
Dinah,
you're
thank you.
embarrassing me now.
No, thank you so much for coming in
Thank you.
tonight.
After everything I've done to you, you're embarrassed.
Finally, George, thanks a million.
Thank you so
You're very
much.
clever. Thank you
Cheers,
very
thank
much. Happy? Yeah. You were great. You happy? Yeah, it was nice. She's up there. She's looking for her sister. She's here, Dinah. Oh, it's her sister's birthday. Okay, I can't ask you to sing happy birthday because it's like sing along, Miriam, this show. So, but happy birthday anyway to Phyllis. And listen, we've got another great guest for you to meet after the break. Join us in a few minutes. Thank you very much. You were great. Thank you.